Hello everyone, I'm Gary York, corruptionbehindbars.com. If you're watching right now, you're watching my YouTube channel, and I thank you. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe now, and also hit like on corruptionbehindbars.com on my Facebook page. Today I would like to take just a few moments to talk about what I consider to be a very serious incident and a very serious concern for corrections across the country. And today's topic is going to be on pregnant correctional officers and how long should they stay on the floor and when should they be given a less dangerous job to protect not only the pregnant officer but the new unborn child. I'm going to use as an example, which probably a lot of you know by now, it's all over Corrections 1 in the newspapers. In California, a pregnant correctional officer fell while responding to a fight between inmates when she heard an alarm. The fall subsequently caused her to lose her child. Now, she was doing what she's supposed to do as a correctional officer. The instinct made her run to help a fellow officer, and I give her a lot of credit and respect her for that, and I thank her for that. I think we all should. She knew a fellow officer possibly could be in great danger, and she ran to the scene to help a fellow officer. And I don't think anyone can argue that that's not justified as being a hero, that so many correctional officers are every day when they respond to an alarm or an officer in danger. In the interim, she has filed a lawsuit saying that the prison officials in California did not provide her with a reasonable accommodations when she was pregnant. She says, and this is in articles across the country, and these are allegations right now. I don't want to say anything is solid, but her side of the story is, and right now we have no doubt to believe it's not true, she was told she could not take a less strenuous position without taking a pay cut or a benefit cut or even unpaid leave. Now, I am so glad that the agencies I've worked for, we've never had that occur. In any state or county agency I've worked for, they have kept care of pregnant correctional officers. If an officer had come forward and said, I'm pregnant and I'm now to a point where I'm a little worried, about working on the floor with the inmates, everywhere I've been, they've always made accommodations for that. Plenty of administrative jobs that need to be filled, plenty of things at human resources that can be done and help that is needed over there, background checks, security checks on people, phone calls for background checks. There's a lot of things that a pregnant officer could do and still be doing a great thing for the agency and being protected at the same time. So now we get into policy. What's the agency policy? We're going to follow agency policy. Of course, some agencies, from what I understand, I'm not the guru on this, I'm just bringing this topic up for discussion, so please throw your comments in at the bottom of this YouTube page, and I'll also share out to some correction sites where I get a lot of comments also. But some agencies have a policy. So what is your policy? Is there a certain month of pregnancy that they're moved into a less dangerous position, an administrative position? Do you have a policy at all? Is there any policy in place? Or is it just good judgment for the agency to say, with policy or without policy, let's just place the pregnant officer in a position that is less dangerous, safer for everyone, safer for the baby, safer for the officer, safer for the agency? I'm going to be very curious to stay in touch with this story, and we all know how the court system is. It's going to take a while for this case to get to court. May not ever get to court. We all know that it may get settled out of court. We may never know the amount. Sometimes settlements are closed and we'll never know the amount of the settlement. We won't know the outcome. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if it goes to court, she probably has a pretty good case. The agency may have a policy, I don't know. Of course, they would use that for their defense, but, we're in court. Will a jury really look at the policy in this type case? There's an exception to every rule, right? So I'm just very thankful that the agencies I work for would not have had her on the floor. She would have been working in some other area, safer for her and the baby. However it pans out, it's going to be very interesting. I'm not going to sit here and try to be a Monday morning quarterback. I told you kind of the way I feel, that if it goes to court, I think she has a good chance. I think the agency might be better to work out a deal with her. But who am I? I'm just a person that likes to bring up corrections topics, and I like to hear what other people have to say about it. So let's hear your thoughts on this topic, and please tune in to my YouTube channel. There's all types of topics on here: training, cell search training, courtroom demeanor for correctional officers, popular prison drugs, all types of things I talk about. You don't have to like them all, but there might be a topic that I have on here that you're going to like. So let us know what you think. Please hit the bell or tap the bell to be notified when I put a new YouTube video up. And I appreciate the phone calls. I got one from Tennessee Corrections today, and I appreciate the messages on Facebook and everything, and the kind words that have been said. None of us know it all. We all have to learn from each other. So let's talk about these topics and see what we can do to help each other learn and survive a career in corrections, which is getting harder and harder to do every day. Thank you for listening. I'm Gary York. Have a great week. Be safe, and thank you for what you do to protect our communities.